Welcome, everybody, to a special live YouTube video. This is amazing. Look, it's me. I'm right there. I'm an analyst. I got my own little section. Look at that. All right. Let's talk about European Regional Event number 3. What has happened? What is going to happen? We're going to predict it. Let's go over it right now. So, let's go down for the first week. Now, we got to do this quick because I'm waiting for a tournament in actual Rocket League while I'm streaming. So, we have like 12 minutes to do this. So, let's do it quick. Let's look at what has happened. And there's been chaos. Team Liquid and Woo coming out of the top. That's insane on its own. But even more insane, Top Lokes and Guild both went out in the very first round as well in the lower bracket. Guild actually lost to the two bottom seeds, 24th seed and 23rd seed. So not good for Guild. Top Lokes as well. They come off a regional championship win and they lose. Not a good look. When we continue to look through this, look at Team Redemption. Made it to day 4, regional event 2. They're out. Triple Trouble has made it through the first time that they're making it to day 3 in the winter split. And then Solary versus Endpoint, very, very close. Solary should have won. That 0-second play should have never happened, but Tox, a complete whiff, and then Endpoint wins at 0 seconds there to tie it at least, and then wins in the overtime. So Endpoint moves on for the first time in the winter split, which is huge for them because they're top 6 in points right now. They want to try and make that major. I still can't talk about how many teams are at the major. We'll see if we can this weekend. We're not sure yet. But if that's the case, we'll announce it on stream. But then we got Team Denied. The second time they've made it through to day 3 through the winter regional. And then Train Hard the first time for them as well. So Barcelona out, but Barca is not the same Barca as it used to be. Ricks and Saw Squad out. Ricks having a really bad split with Magnus now on that team. Besides that, Galaxy Racer also going out. They were a top 5 team in points, and they're out in the very first round versus Endpoint. So a lot of big names going out early. Team Singularity going out relatively early, but that's not as big of a deal because that's, what it is. But it's because of Woo, because they beat Redemption in round 1. Then Redemption got Team Singularity. That should have never happened. It should have been, instead, Guild should have been where Redemption was, playing White Demons. That makes a little bit more sense. But Guild is out, Top Lokes are out, Redemption is out. 3 teams that you expect to easily make it to a day 3 are gone. Moving on to predictions. It's going to be chaotic. Team Liquid versus Woo. One of these teams will finish top 6. That's absolutely insane. Now we got the battle of the 3 Frenchmen or the battle of Team Liquid. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'll say Team Liquid will win. I get it. It's France, but no. It's still, Team Liquid will come out with the win. They'll get a top 6 finish. Here, Speed's confident in the team. And if their defense holds up, I think they will do just fine there. Moving on, Giants versus Vitality. This is a huge one. Giants, Vitality, 2 teams are very, very strong. Giants have looked very good throughout this off-season winter split. They've made a lot of grand finals in off-season tournaments. Vitality, they look like they're getting hot just at the right time. Alpha's looking good again. Looks like maybe he's back on the grind in Rocket League. I think Vitality does win that. I do like Giants a lot, but they scared me versus Train Hard, so I'm going to go Vitality in that matchup. Then Vitality Liquid, which we always get all the time. I'm going to go Vitality there, so they'll make it to the upper final. BDS Dig, probably the biggest game out of all of these. Dignitas is on a tear. A perfect sweep in 3 of their last 5 series, including the grid. That includes versus Team Singularity right here. Their offense, though, like a lot of people think, oh, they're absolutely dominating, and they're doing well. Their offense, 2.4-ish goals per game, is on the high end, obviously, but it's not anything exceptional. It's more about their defense, obviously, shutting people down. So we'll see if they can do that versus BDS, which is a tall order. I think BDS will win this one. I'm going to go BDS here. Then we got Queso and Oxygen. Another big one, I think, for both of these squads. Queso, people still don't think they're the real deal, and that's probably because they're not in grid, so we don't get to see them a lot. Oxygen is trying to make up for that horrid fall split. So pretty big game here. Queso's right on the cusp of top 6 as well for a World Championship spot. And with Galaxy going out, Queso could probably move up into that. But I think Queso will win that. I think Queso's going to move on there. So then we got BDS Queso, a rematch from last regional where Queso took him out to end BDS's streak, I guess, of just winning every single thing. But I think BDS gets the revenge here. We'll get our classic BDS Vitality in the upper final. Moving on to the lower bracket, it gets a little bit of messiness here. I think Triple Trouble versus Loser Match 2 has no chance. Loser of Match 1, Endpoint. I think Endpoint does beat Woo. So I think Endpoint will move on here. I think, but the Giants are incredibly good. I think Giants will move on there. Then Denied versus Match 4 Keystone Auction. Like, I don't think they have a chance. Train Hard as well. I don't think they have a chance there. So it'll be Oxygen versus Dignitas for a spot here. I'm going to go Dig there, and then Dig would play loser of Match 1, which would be Team Liquid. I think Dig wins that as well, makes it into the top 4. And then loser of Match 2, which would be Queso versus Giants. I think Giants win that. I think Giants are right on the cusp. Again, it's probably because I haven't seen a lot of Queso. So I'll go Giants there for a top 4 finish. Dig versus Giants. I'm going to go Dig here. I think Dig has looked pretty strong. I think Dig can make it to a top 3. And then Dig versus Vitality will be a pretty juicy one. Because I think BDS will win versus Vitality like they normally do. Let's see something different. I think Dig makes the run to play BDS in the finals. And then I do think BDS wins because, I'm boring like that. I think BDS first, Dignitas second, Vitality third. Let's look at the points here real quick, just so we can show kind of how that would look. But it's getting a little hairy. Let's actually go. Oh, I hate all these tabs. There's so many tabs for everything. E rankings. Let's just look at overall, since we can't really talk about major stuff yet. So full ranking right now, Dignitas is pretty low, 9th. But if I do have them going all the way up to top 2 finish, they're going to move up a lot of points on Galaxy Racer, obviously, who's already done. So top 2 points is, like 300 points, I think. So they'll go to 990. They'll be just below Galaxy Racer. Endpoint will move up as well. It'll be a pretty tight race there. Queso will also move up as well. So it's going to be a very, very tight race there. Giants will get another strong finish here. Vitality and BDS, you don't really have to worry about them. They're going to make World Championship. And then Blokes are already out. So they're going to have a lot of people catching up to them. No one's going to catch them completely. Giants probably come a little bit close. But, yeah, so we'll have Giants and Blokes kind of in that 3-4 range that are kind of in the middle. BDS Vitality will still have a strong lead. I won't worry about them. And then after that, it's going to be hairy. Galaxy Racer, Endpoint, Dignitas, Queso are all going to be right around that same area. Guild obviously cannot get any more points. They're already done. So I think those teams are going to be battling out. And then who knows? What if Oxygen has a good run and not Dignitas? Oxygen could also join that fray up there. So that's what we're looking like for the World Championship or even Winter Split Major. It looks like we're going to have probably Oxygen, Dig, Queso, Guild, Endpoint, and all these teams fighting for a World Championship spot, probably going into Spring Split, I would say. I think everyone else is going to slowly kind of dip out. But who knows? Who knows what happens with that Winter Regional? But it's going to be exciting. So how many teams is that I think is actually fighting? And who knows with Team Liquid who's going to get a top 6 finish? They obviously need so many points, but they could make a run. You never know. But in my mind, it comes down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the top 6. So there'll be 10 teams left, I think, really fighting for one of those World Championship spots going into Spring Split. We obviously still have to play out a major and all of that stuff, too. If Team Liquid has a great major, if they make it, then Team Liquid could join that conversation. But they would have to finish like Grand Finals or something like that to really make up the points that they've lost. They're obviously 400 down right now to Dignitas. So, and they're not even in it right now. So, Team Liquid might join this conversation for the Spring Split, but I think then, yeah, maybe top 11 teams will be fighting for the top 6 spots with basically, I would say, 4 of them locked up, pretty close. Not completely locked up, but like with BDS Vitality, they'll definitely be locked up. Blokes Giants will be on the cusp, and then we'll have to see going from there. It really comes down to what happens in Winter Split, because if Blokes get another last place finish, Giants have a last place finish or something like that, they'll be back in that conversation again. But that's where we stand right now in Europe. It's getting exciting. Rounding it out for the Winter Split Major. Now I have to go and win a Rocket League tournament. So thank you guys for watching. Definitely check out the streams. Twitch.tv/Rocket League starts at 10:30 Eastern Time for the pre-show, AM, and then 11 for the games. And then, so the first day is normally short, about a 4-hour show, 4.5-hour show, 5-hour show, around that area. But then the final day, best of 7s the whole way through. It's going to be a long day. We'll be going to 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Time for sure there. So definitely check it out. Going to be a lot of fun. Players are playing for a lot of money. So have fun. Check it out. Thank you guys for watching. and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. All right.